Hello everybody, it's the Pepper Wolverine, Jeff Hobbs over here in Willowbrook, Illinois. Here with some special presents, gifts from, I hope I don't mess up his name, John Varady, I think that's how it's going to be pronounced, of Gnarly Pods. He'd seen a couple of my reviews and reached out to me and asked me if I had an interest in reviewing a couple of his personal crosses, and I said, and I jumped on and I was like, yeah, sure. And that was really before knowing what I might receive. So hopefully I don't regret that. We'll see. Because he sent me really some impressive peppers. I'll show you a couple of what he sent me. Something called a yellow rocket, a red rocket, something he's calling a griefer. A couple different color bullets. And the peach bullet, the orange bullet, and the yellow bullet. And I ate one of the, what did I eat? I ate one of the orange bullets last night with dinner, and it was quite good. There's some information up on his Facebook page about how they came to origin. And the one I'm going to attempt to eat and do a review of is something he's calling a screaming banshee. The screaming banshee is something apparently that started out as a oh crap, I'm going to get this wrong already. Orange daisy cutter. And he believes it crossed with possibly a devil's brain in his garden. Decent sized pod, pretty firm, beautiful looking peppers. He had this one as an F1. Originally he thought maybe it had crossed with a CPR. The orange daisy cutter, but now he's pretty sure that, or at least thinking that it was probably more likely a devil's brain. Decent amount of liquids coming out on the knife as I'm cutting through it. And as soon as I sliced through it, I could smell a slightly fruity aroma. And I can smell that. It's got a pleasant, very pleasant aroma to it. Now it is extremely windy out here today for me, and it's actually kind of cold. It's like 56 degrees and with a chilling wind. So the wind's kind of taking the aroma away from me a little bit because it's blowing from my back forward. A little bit of wet walls in there in the pepper. Good amount of, thank you, placental tissue. Relatively thin-walled, a little bit thicker on the wall, but not a medium wall at all. It's thin. Interesting. Let's see what I got myself into here. This is something called the Screaming Banshee. It's from Gnarly Pods, from Mr. John Varady. Nice and crunchy, juicy, fruity. Fruity with a nice flavor. With some immediate heat kicking in with that bite from the tip. He did warn me of the peppers that he sent me that he thought the Screaming Banshee was the one that was gonna maybe be the killer of the box. I'm not sure why I went to that one first, but I did. I'm telling you, I'm digging the flavor. It's juicy, fruity. Let's see what happens when I get to the placental tissue and things change. kind of chilly out here, so my daughter brought me one of my sweatshirts or sweat jackets, so I'm going to put that on.
I couldn't find the green one, so I got that one.
That's going to be expected when chomping down through the placental tissue with the seed area in it. A little bit bitter, but just only a little bit, ever so slightly. Still have the nice floral, fruity flavor, not floral. So we're chomping down on a screaming Banshee. Waiting to see where it takes us. I'm hoping this like really shoots like a 2 alarm or greater alarm fire to my ears. I love it when I get a good ear stinging and ringing. I got it cleaned out. I don't think there's anything left in the teeth. Dropping down. There's something about the heat that does remind me a little bit of the devil's brain. I do have a devil's brain in the garden. It's one of the few plants that are still left in the garden because I've pulled out most plants that were affected by my issues this season. I've left a couple. Devil's brain's one of them. It's getting me around the lips pretty good. A really enjoyable flavor to it. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say it had like a little bit of habanero in it, just from that really juicy flavor of it. The daisy cutters, I actually just had my first daisy cutter yesterday, so I don't have a whole lot of experience with that pepper. The straight daisy cutter was a little bit more floral. It was fruity, but a little bit more floral. This isn't very floral at all. I mean, it's a straightforward, clean, pepper flavor. It's getting a little bit difficult to decipher the flavor at the moment as the heat's building. Went from just being on the inside of the lips to an all-around tongue burner right now. Can feel it start working its way back a little bit. My daughter, one of my daughters is across the table, just kind of like look at me like, "Hey, Daddy, I think you're crazy. I'm not sure, but you might be crazy." But she's not crazy because she brought me something to get warm. I might not need it in 2 or 3 minutes when the heat of this pepper keeps climbing, though. It's a no, man. I'm good. I don't need any water. I don't typically drink anything when I'm reviewing peppers. Maybe when I'm done. It's definitely a tongue burner, that's for sure. It's making it's opening up the nasal passage. My nose is starting to run. It's been kind of clogged for the last little while, but right now it's starting to open up. Definitely running a little bit. You can feel it. It's worked its way down all the way to the stomach, and there's a slight tingling, burning tingling from the bottom all the way up. But I still have these excellent nodes of a fruity flavor coming through. It's probably from the quantity of saliva that's being produced by this pepper. I'm salivating pretty well. Can almost feel it getting back to the ears, almost. Screaming Banshee. I love the name, Screaming Banshee. It's a nice pepper too. I mean, a tri-lobed, elongated pepper, a little bit wrinkly. Not terribly wrinkly, but a little bit wrinkly. The one that I ate was very similar. Pretty darn good pepper. The heat on it's a tingling, pins and needles sensation around the tongue and the mouth. But it's not a... It's not overpowering to the point where I'm like in pain. I'm actually really enjoying this. It's hot, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it because the flavor's a little bit hard to put my finger on, but it's a fruity flavor. And it's quite enjoyable. I like this one. So the heat's worked its way all the way around the insides of my mouth, a little bit on the back side of the tongue, going down into the throat. Get her off the table. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Our husky puppy just helped herself to the top of the table, and I don't really want her to come over here and knock over the camera and do something more. Marion, you want to come over here and say hello? So every once in a while the kids like to just say hi. So this is Marion. She brought me the sweater to make sure Daddy's not cold. So thank you very much. Love you.
Me too. Please don't get spiced up.
Okay, no problem. I won't get. Don't get what?
Spiced up.
Oh, don't get spiced up. Well, a little bit late for that. Daddy's spiced up. The Screaming Banshee has enough heat to spice me up for sure. It's not gonna make the volcano erupt, but it's definitely gonna stir up the cauldron a little bit and make it think about it, that's for sure. Yeah, the flavor that's left in the mouth is a little bit fruity, which is interesting. I didn't get that from the devil's brains that I'm growing out in my garden. They were kind of floral. There was a little bit of fruitiness in there, but it was overwhelmed by the floral nature of the pepper that I grew, at least, as a devil's brain. And the daisy cutter that I tried yesterday was a red one, not an orange one. So the Screaming Banshee, I believe, is a as John so graciously informed me, because I wanted to be able to add something to the pepper as opposed to just an unknown pepper, because sometimes reviews of unknown peppers are like, well, why would anyone want to try it? Orange daisy cutter crossed with the belief is a devil's brain. It's a pretty darn good pepper. I like it. John gave me permission to grow it out, so I'll pull seeds out of the remaining pot of the Screaming Banshee, and I think this will definitely make it to the 2019 grow list. I like growing things that not everyone has. That way it's a lot easier to trade with people. You know, they've got something you want, and maybe you got something they want, and because you've never had it before. So there's always an allure to that, and it's a cross that probably, unless he's shared it with other people, that not too many people have. It's a cross that occurred in his garden, so it's a gem of a pepper. Hey John, thanks for sharing this with me. I will be doing either the Red Rocket or the Griefer next. Not sure which, but I mean, I'll tell you what, that Griefer piques my interest. Just to look at it, it's pretty gnarly. So, and this is an attractive pepper as well. I mean, aesthetically, looks really nice. Something about this one though, with the slight bonnet, elongation on the underside of it piques my interest, that's for sure. So we have started on our Gnarly Pods adventure to do a couple reviews of some peppers that John sent me, and can't thank you enough for sending these to me to evaluate / review and just give my personal opinion. My personal opinion is that this is one fantastic pepper. Flavor is awesome. I mean, this would be an incredible candidate for powder. Wouldn't even need to smoke it. I mean, you just straight up dehydrate it and make powder. You don't need to add any other flavor to it because it's got flavor in and of itself. It's a good flavor at that, in my opinion. So, John, thank you very much for sharing that with me, and we'll see which pepper I decide to do next. This has been another Pepper Wolverine review. I hope you guys enjoy it. For some reason you don't enjoy it, if there's some way I can improve it, let me know. Shoot a comment when it's posted. And if you like it, well, just thumbs up and tune in and keep on watching for the next episode. Thanks, everybody. Take care.